Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is GrumpyKoi, and I'm here for the lower bracket finals of the Premiership of ETF2L Season 29. But I'm not alone. I'm joined by Gemm on production, and Eemes is my co-caster. How you doing, Eemes?
I'm pretty good, GrumpyKoi. How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Everything's kind of settled down for me post-LAN. It was a good fun in Copenhagen.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we had some whispers of a early start, but it was fake ready. So we've got two really good teams to play against. We've got OMNI5 EU basketball team versus Ascent.EU. How do you feel about this game, Eames?
Well, I think it's going to be a good one, hopefully. I know that obviously Ascent are the favoured team here. OMNI5 placing actually 5th in the overall rankings this season, although Nunya had to fold, and then they had a really good match against the Germans. So they're probably not the underdog here, definitely, but I don't know, they've got some really good players on their team. I think they can actually pull up an upset if they play together and play well.
Yeah, they have got some people that have spent a lot of time in Prem or near the top of high. So they've always, classic names like Raptor. We've got Raf, who's always been quite a strong player in my eyes. So it will be really, really, really interesting to see what goes down. Swee's another good mention. So they've got the sort of flitters of a team that could take Ascent. It's just if they can get themselves organized to the point where they can do it. I think that's what they need.
Yeah, I think they all have like good enough, or maybe good enough DM to be comparable, at least to Ascent. But they need to turn up. So I might single out particularly Scruff. Like Scruff's really, really good. He's crazy. If he's playing well, then he can easily be as good as Franz. Like if the team is not gelling and it's all being a bit toxic in comms, it's not going too well for them, then it's gonna be. He'll look like a much worse scout than he really could be.
Yeah, we've seen many a times actually. Credu and Funds like pick apart teams just on their own.
Yeah.
So if they are given the space and they're not being denied and they're allowed to work together, especially if even Credu and Chris have some really good times on the flanks with each other, so they could easily just eat OMNI5 alive if they're not allowed.
Yeah, the thing about Ascent, there's not a single player on their roster who doesn't have a really, really top tier DM. So that means that pretty much at any point, regardless of what the situation is, they are going to be dangerous. You're going to have to be completely on the ball, or they're going to really punish you. Elikor might hit out the pipes. The scouts just might come in and hit every shot and destroy you. Anything could happen. So yeah, Omni going to have to be really on their toes if they're going to want to get something out of this game.
Yeah, one thing they've really got to look, one thing they've got to look out for, but one thing they should try and punish is Elikor does like playing a very aggressive style of demo that we don't see too much.
Definitely.
So he almost roams to a degree. I know it's not like full on roaming, but he will go if he sees an opportunity to go into like the second on his own, he may do that. So if they can pick him off very quickly when he like overextends or goes a bit further than the rest of his team, he may be able to pick that up. But the problem is, Elikor's a really good demo, and he's 4-piped on mids before. He's done so much work so quickly that if he's allowed to just go off on one, he will. And I don't know if you agree with that, but that's like one of the players I could see that if they actually work on taking him down, they could win. They could actually win it.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, so Elikor definitely plays the style. Tank him, and if he hits his shots, which most of the time he will, and he doesn't get picked up by like a bombing soldier or something, he will do a lot of damage for their team, and he will be the focus of the heals and the combo and like the thing that gets everything done. So on the one hand, it's like it works pretty well when he's hitting his shots and when the team's working in focus. But sometimes I'm told that the core of that team, which is Ombrak and Elikor, if Elikor's trying to do too much, maybe with the Ubers, if Ombrak and basically the two Frenchies in the team, they like to argue if things aren't going well. So if you can keep punishing Elikor for him being too aggressive, and Ombrak then will not be having such a fun time, that could be really the way for OMNI5 to try and pick Ascent apart here. Just try and not necessarily outplay them, but just make them tilt.
Mm. But so we've got on the flank we've got for OMNI5 Raf, and is it Sui who plays flank scout?
Yes, Sui's flank.
So again, that's not a terrible flank combo compared to Chris and Credu. I can see, like you said, if Scruff obviously does well in the pocket, he'll be able to do a lot. But Sui's proven himself before as a really competent scout, so he has that opportunity. If he works well with Raf, who is also a very good soldier, they may be able to put up a lot of pressure on Chris and Credu, and if they can do that, then they will easily, create opportunities for their team. But if they get shut down, then they might not be able to. It's kind of, one team needs to be able to pull out like plays and pick the other team apart, but Ascent are, I would say, a lot more experienced individually. So
Definitely.
that's what OMNI5 really needs to work against, is trying to pick apart that experience, get them into a place where they're not comfortable, and then I think, like we said, OMNI5 can take this. But I don't know, do we have any of the standings or anything we could have a look at?
I'm told that there's stats out at the moment, but I'm not seeing them. I don't know if that's because it's not working or what.
Okay. But I do have the OMNI5 team sheet on me right now, so we can have just a quick talk through that. So the main center of the combo is going to be Raptor, Demo, Shampoo, and I think Ixie?
No. OMNI5. So it's Scruff on Pocket Scout and Sui on Pocket Scout. Yep.
Yeah. I know, it's just the team sheet I've got here has Ixie and Gotti.
Yeah.
Are they playing today?
Neither of them are playing. Ixie murked last time, I think, and Gotti has been replaced by another Romanian. I'm pretty sure Shampoo is Romanian, who hasn't played with them. I believe he's a demo main. He used to play with them like a really long time ago, but yeah, he's on Pocket this season, or this match rather.
Yeah, Shampoo as a demo just kind of ring bells, but no, that's gonna be really, really, really strange. Like having some players that they're not too used to, maybe something that Ascent will to pick apart, because they've stayed this roster the entire season.
Yeah.
So they've had all of these games to kind of get into their flow, and now they're at the point where it's near the final, and they want to go. I can imagine Ombrak very much so really wants to take it this season, because now's the time to bring his team up to the top spot, because there are little changes in 7, even though they did win the was it the upper bracket final? Yeah, it would have been the upper bracket final against Ascent. So precursor for the final, who knows? We'll be able to get a good gauge once the game actually gets up and running as to what sort of form Ascent are in.
Definitely. I'm still not seeing the stats. I don't know if that's. Oh, I am. Okay, never mind.
Oh, so
hold on, I have to reload it.
Okay, so we've actually got up on screen right now a comparison, which is Elikor versus Demos. Now, Elikor, we spoke about just earlier, is ridiculous, and definitely,
that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, definitely on seed to be the best demo this season. Like he can just do so much, and I think that's going to be something very different, because I imagine he's going to be a little bit scared of the player he's going up against on demo, because Elikor has proven himself a lot, and I can imagine that can be quite a factor if you've got like a demo like Elikor against you. It's going to be rather uncomfortable.
It could be. Although I don't know, Demos, he's no slouch in DM. Like I've definitely seen him hitting some really nutty pipes this season. And sometimes, honestly, when you know that the enemy demo is just going to be plus forwarding at you, it can actually make your life pretty easy as a demo, because you kind of bait him in a bit, and then you just go for them and call your team to focus them, and it's like, oh, your counterpart just gets bombed and taken out, and then you're free. You have free reign. So it's. I don't know. I don't think Demos will be fearing. He'll be wary, but he's a solid demo himself, and he can make some big plays when he's hitting his shots, which I think he's going to be turning up tonight, Demos. He's a player to watch. Yeah,
definitely. And one interesting thing will be, so we, like you said, you've got Shampoo, who we assume he's playing.
Yep.
So we've got Shampoo versus Josh. Now,
Indeed.
that's going to be a really interesting to see how Shampoo does it, because Josh has been kind of an integral part of Ascent this season, especially with his ability to exchange Ubers. Like when he gets in an Uber exchange, he does so well, and he juggles so many players, and he causes the enemy to flash so much.
Okay.
But I think we can't go into much more player versus player detail because the match has just started. So my name's GrumpyKoi. I'm joined by Eemes. Got Gem on production, and this is the first map, which is process of the lower bracket final for ETF2L season 29. You shall take it away. Actually, can you take it away for me? Because my things have broken.
So Elikor getting here a bit earlier than Demos this middle, but all of OMNI5 trying to take over the right side here with Ascent kind of mirroring them, walking over their left. Shampoo's going to go deep, get some good damage on Elikor. Raptor's also walking over on the left. It's pretty good positioning. Ascent, a huge bomb from Raph into their choke. Oh my god, that was insane by Raph. And so Ascent just sitting in their choke really that whole middle, getting no positioning, and that's just a really strong mid from Omni. Just the scouts getting cleaned up. It's only Credu. He's going to try and get out through sewer, but yeah, getting really nothing done. So that's just a huge play from Raph there, just to go deep into the choke where they're all grouped up and capitalize on their really bad positioning. So really great mid from Omni.
Yeah, I just caught the end of that, and Raph, that bomb just pretty much won them the mid. That was the turning point when they really started, you know, picking off players, and they are on the second point right now. There is a bit of an exchange. We see Funds has gone up into the good old engineer class. He's going to try and slow down. They have got quite a decent 60% Uber ad right now, so it's effectively 100% Uber ad, but 60% now, so there's only 50% for on back to build up. They've got a heavy as well on Credu, so they're really looking to tattle this in. As they come in on the left side with their Uber, they focus down the sentry, but Funds keeps it up for a decent amount of time. Now they have to deal with the Pudis up on top. He's dealing a huge amount of damage, a little bit of time on the point, but the rest of Ascent have gone on to OMNI5 and they've cleaned them up, and that's a really confident wipe, Eemes.
Yeah, that was kind of a weird Uber. Like, basically what Ascent did, they committed the heavy, it's really well played by them, to be honest. They had the sentry on the right side, which Demos has to spam before they go in, and then this heavy on the left. So that's essentially 700 HP or something like that, which Demos has to take out, and he just didn't have enough ammo in his Uber, enough teammates to actually get onto the heavy after the sentry died to actually get anything done there. So really smart defense from Ascent, and they're going to be looking to come into second here with almost full Uber ad.
Yeah, and the bomb from Chris onto the point, just denying players. He picks up some players doing that. It just was a really confident hold. As they have come in from the lower of IT. They have Ubered and they're pushing out. They know that they've got a large amount of ad right now, and they've Funds was in way too deep. Ombrak gets picked up by Shampoo, and that was really bad. Josh down as well. That's not what Ascent want right now.
Yeah, Ascent being really not very clinical there in that push at all. I mean, I don't know why they overextended into the last. They should have just taken what they had, but now it's looking really nice for OMNI5 to just make a push out with only unbuffed players on Ascent just resetting on the middle.
Yeah, Ombrak has just come, so they're able to have a bit of heals on choke. They look like they want to actually really slow them down, but they can't stay in choke for too long because OMNI5 have got a nice player advantage. I think Josh had just come back, or whoever died during the last exchange just come back. Shampoo has gone in and tried to create a lot of space for his team, but they're both soldiers on top of Crate have so much spam, but Raph and Scruff are up on top, and they pushed Ascent all the way out of mid. That was actually quite a clinical push from Omni. They're doing really well.
Yeah, that's well played by Omni just to get that out without even Ubering. They're going to have 30% ad. Do they still want to go on this? Raptor knows it's a small ad, but Ombrak is close to getting it, so if they push now, Ombrak will probably get the Uber up. So yeah, Raptor's just going to sit on mid, but I mean, he's completely happy with that. They took mid for free, and they still have the Uber, so that's, you know, well played. With I know, I'm kind of disappointed in the positioning from the Ascent soldiers there. They could have gotten a force on Raptor if they'd been, you know, on the high ground spamming a bit better, but they didn't quite get it. But Chris is in here making a plan to Raptor. He's got some spam crits, and he's going to force. Credy's actually alive going behind, and Chris gets out as well, so they've lost their demo and they've got force, and Shampoo's going to get in and not going to get anything, so yeah, there's just kind of a car crash of a play from Omni.
Bit of a collapse on Omni's side. Sweet was able to get picked onto Credu, but it's not really going to be anything that's going to stop Ascent taking this mid. Chris is in actually really deep as well, so he may look to actually bomb onto the combo if he can do anything, but it just means they can't set up any sort of forward hold on this second. There's a lot of space for Ascent to come in. Sweet's watching quite a nice sightline. He manages to get Josh, but he's definitely been called out now. He's taken so much spam on too. He's just survives with about 6 health. And Ascent look to want to take this in through 1. They know they've got the ad. They do take it in. Funds on top, going into panic room where Raptor is.
They need to go Raptor here. Raptor's juking, but Elikor hits the pipe. That's huge from Elikor. So Ascent can just reset on left side with their heals and they'll win this fight out. Champion's going to go deep, get Elikor. But yeah, okay. Ascent are just going to leave with their scouts and retain this Uber ad. But it was well played by Elikor to get that frag. But yeah, also well played by Omni to counter.
Yeah,
get counter picks.
They did get the really nice counter picks and they managed to hold. I think Scruff did a little bit of work on the Putis man on that heavy, just stopping other players coming in from other angles, and they weren't able to focus him down. Now Swee's actually swapped over to a sentry gun. They know they've got that disad, so they need as many defensive classes up as possible. But Scruff staying on scout. I imagine as soon as they get close to Uber, they're going to want to swap him onto some sort of heavy play.
That's a terrible feed from Shampoo. That makes it a lot easier for Ascent to come in. Taking this right side absolutely for free. We got the sentry down before even using, and Ombrick and Elikor, they're just going to walk over point. They still haven't popped. It's looking so good for them. They just need to play point. Funds is on it.
Yeah, they're on it, and only Scruff left, and that's the first round of the first map going to Ascent, but not convincing at all for Ascent. I can see OMNI5 being able to claw it back. I know it's just a 1 lead, but some teams, you know, just have so much presence that you feel like once they lose a round, all of the speed's going to go out the other team. But Omni seem like they have a lot to go on. Yeah, you want to take us through this mid again, Eemes?
I will indeed. So Demos getting here quite early. Elikor opting to go right side. He's pushed up quite far over right, kind of on his own at the moment, but he's going to get some decent damage, maybe some good positioning. But Demos, he sees the whole map, so no one can come in from Ascent without him seeing. But Shampoo's going to die on his own, and Elikor's trying to push over the pack, taking some damage. But Ascent, they're cleaning up two soldiers from Omni, so that aggression from them really not working, and the positioning from Ascent is just far too strong on the high ground. So yeah, Omni just gonna have to leave that as the slow grind. Elikor's actually gonna peek choke here, but yeah, let's lost mid for Omni.
Yeah. Sadly, losing those 2 players, Ascent were really able to sort of transfer that into an advantage, and they're looking to stay in on second quite aggressively. Ombrak and Elikor holding on grass for far too long. Players are really low. Josh goes down. This is good for OMNI5. They got a pick. They may be able to catch some players off guard because not all angles are being watched. Raf has gone into IT. I don't think Chris has only just spotted him, so he could have gotten a really good position, but he does go down. That should take all the wind out of the sail for OMNI5. They shouldn't try to push this anymore.
Yep.
And it's going to go into a bit of a stalemate.
Okay. Done.
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching that, and for some reason he was trying to take pack with Credu there.
Yeah, you do not want to take that one with Credu, although Shampoo's died, so no soldiers for Omni right now, and Swee's going to go down on the flank as well. Scruff's trying to 1v1 Credu, but he gets killed, so yeah, Omni just Demos is so committed here, though. They should really be backing out, but they want to take a trade. It's only Demos and Raptor on point. Raptor should just leave, but Demos is going to stand his ground. Get some really good damage, actually, although Raf dies, so yeah, Demos is going to have to leave. Nice pick on the Credu, but it's not enough. Unless they want to do an aggressive trade out, which they could do, but it's pretty risky.
I think Demos is looking for it. He's gone really far forward onto Ombrak, but he's been disconnected. Shampoo comes in to secure the exchange, but Sen not having to flash any players and being later to keep it in for a little longer. Josh actually getting picked up on the right side going towards Al Qaeda. He gets picked off, and Swee's off in the flank, but Chris goes down as well to Demos. So the picks are going more in favour of OMNI5, and they're looking to go into mid.
Demos playing out his mind. That trade was really, really good. Just took so much position, and they're going to chase Ascent all the way out of the choke. They are going to escape, but it's mid taken for free here from Demos, and that was pretty much all off the back of that trade, which they popped a bit earlier, but they took so much position and bought time all their spawns to come in, which were closer from last. So that's just really smart from Demos. I thought it was going to be a bad play, but he seems to be... He's smarter than me.
Are you getting outbrained right now, Eemes?
I could be.
But yeah, really nice clean push from OMNI5. They're able to have mid. But it's more about angles. We've got Sui coming back on the sniper, maybe looking for some sort of good angle to get onto Ombrak. Ombrak not holding too much in the sightline. I think they're aware that Sui may be on that sniper as he goes into
Chris
IT.
Go for the sack here. Chris is really deep behind, trying to fight Raf. Why is Raf taking this 1v1 so aggressively? So Chris gets the pick here. He's going to get out of choke, but there's so much space. Credu gets in, and this is really not looking good for OMNI5. They're losing players. Raptors pretty much dropped everyone. They're just going to have to leave through IT. Like, in these stalemates, Ascent are just picking OMNI5 apart by just getting one pick on the flank, then snowballing it into more and more picks. And yeah, just not looking... Omni can't seem to hold their mid from second at all.
Well, it looked like Omni was trying to do some sort of sniper peek play from sewers, but Chris read that really nicely as he did this den, picking off Demo with a nice bomb onto him, and they get the force out of OMNI5, and Scruff's not able to transfer it into anything until the last moment, where they do get a force, but I think that's too little too late. They're not going to be able to secure the second, and it looks like Ascent are transferring into some sort of dry push on the right side.
Yeah, they've taken a lot of space on the right. It's really bad for Omni. They got in for free, but no sleeper spawns for OMNI5. So actually, yeah, Ascent are thinking they have to back out here. Fun's going to go deep into the heavy. Actually, really good positioning and damage from Ascent, and they're just going to walk over. Ascent, they took so much space for free on the right side that there was just nothing OMNI5 could do. That's really well, just smart positioning. Like, what? Omni should have had a soldier far left watching it, but they just got in completely for free uncontested, and it was just, once they had so much position, just looked really good for them.
Just saying that though, like, Ascent just walked over them. Just absolutely walked over them that last. OMNI5 weren't able to transfer it into anything useful for themselves. They started losing players, and it's really unfortunate, but this mid has started. Elikor's taking a huge amount of damage on the left side, his right. He gets bombed onto. They managed to get Shampoo for the trade, but Elikor does go down. Domo's still up, so they've still got a demo in. Fun's getting picked up by Sui. This is looking like it's falling in line with OMNI5's idea of what this mid is going to be for them. But Credit on top of that area should really back out.
Huge pipe from Demos, that was insane.
That's really unfortunate. Only Ombrak and Josh left anywhere near mid, and that was a really good mid by OMNI5.
Yeah, they seem to have wised up to the fact that most of Ascent's strat on mid is just to go right side, to sit there and then go over, but pretty much all of Ascent was just sitting in this one tiny little space, and it meant that the bombs for Omni were just so nice, took so much position that they just lost the positional fight pretty easily.
Yeah, really, really well done by OMNI5. And they're looking like they're doing exactly what they've done last time, which is they're being too impatient on these holds.
Yeah.
And Shampoo is getting out of position a little bit more than I imagine Omni would like. And with a flank like Chris and Credu, you really don't want to lose that. But Domos being really bold, they managed to get the pick onto Elikor. And that's something they need. They can dry push this if they really want to, or get some sort of exchange going. And they look like they want to maybe transfer something into sewer, but that's automatically being called out, and it's more just a basic hold right now. They're not really going to go off that player pick. They know Elikor's back. They're just going to want to spam things out and see what they can do. But they are on the losing team, Eemes. So that's really, really, really unfortunate for them. And Shampoo does go in, goes for a really nice high bomb, but immediately gets picked up by Josh. And I think we're going to probably get back into this stalemate. Credit goes in, but gets picked off by Sui, so that's a trade for trade.
Yeah, so, I mean, OMNI5, they haven't done anything yet. Actually, they haven't lost both soldiers, so I was going to just praise them for holding their stalemate so well, but when they haven't previously. But now it looks like Ascent are going to try and break it with these two picks. Chris is going to come in from IT, he's uncontested. Scott's going to have a look at him. But yeah, I think Raptors going to be holding this and they're going to be resetting, which is, I mean, the last two times that Omni have held middle against Ascent being on second, they have instantly gone Raptor forced or lost a load of players and had to leave. So while they're not doing too much here, at least they're not like feeding players and are getting pushed out. So the next step from here, they've got a solid hold that's not being instantly broken. Now they can start, you know, slowly working up to making the plays they need to do, making like maybe a sniper, maybe a double sack.
I hope OMNI5 realised that when they were getting pressured by Chris, that Josh was actually peeking from sewers. So they may be looking at defending that a little bit more, because they gave up way too much space there on both sides of the choke.
Yep.
And they're very lucky that Raptor only took a light bit of spam, because that was really good from both Josh and Chris there with their coordination.
Yeah, that's definitely something Ascent have been doing well to break the stalemates. When you have one more player, all you have to do is just peek one or two of your players from all the different doors, and there's going to be one place doesn't matter where it is, one place that isn't watched, but as we say, this Raph goes to the sack, and just as he does that, Scruff gets killed by the sniper, but Demo's going to take a huge trade into the choke. He hasn't forced them yet, so he does get the kill, but OMNI5's going to milk it. That's such a great milk from OMNI5. Oh, no, he drops!
Raptor!
Never mind!
What
That's insane from Raptor. Absolutely clutch.
OMNI5 is not going to be happy with that.
Yeah.
Sui goes down, but it may
Elicor's
not
onto
be...
Raptor though in choke. Raptor's going to arrow him once. He gets killed, but that's huge from Raptor. Doesn't die to the Elicor pipe, drops the medic, and now this is looking like a really good second push. They just need to deal with Credu, who's lower Bobby, but Rap's going to get onto him.
And he is 1v1ing Funds, and Funds does take him down, but Scruff picks up Funds, but I don't know if he's going to be able to
Shampoo's
stay
so
in.
Deep. Done so much damage. It was a great play from Shampoo to just take some.
Oh,
no!
Credu.
Credu is just unchecked for 1 second and he will kill your med. That's how it works with this player. And so the huge play from Raptor. Oh my! And Credu is just popping off. This is the kind of thing he would do to you on Sniper.
You can't give that man an inch because he will just take a mile. And
exactly.
They were spamming him really effectively. He transferred up to top and they were spamming him and they were paying attention. Sui is behind 1v1ing Josh, and he might
huge from Sui. Can he go last? Josh is going to escape the Josh shotgun, and Sui's won this round almost certainly. The Ascent soldiers are too weak. Josh is in lobby. Josh does oh my god! So Josh was on shotgun, right? So he could not like gunboats jump back. He almost got Sui, but he swipes on 9 HP, and Josh couldn't hit the shot. So that's insane from Sui. So unlucky.
I didn't even see him get behind.
No, we missed it. Ascent missed it, and that's huge from Sui. Just if you can't win the round from last pushes, you can win the round from back caps. So that's played by OMNI.
We were creaming a little bit by the sniper plays that were coming out of Credu there. But really aggressive start from Ascent. They've actually spammed a lot of players who came through choke, but OMNI5 are looking to bring this forward. They managed to get only Credu and they lose Shampoo, Sui, Raph down, only Demos and Raptor. They need to leave. They took so much damage at the start of that. The rest of Ascent are chasing so hard. Josh cleaning up Demos, Raptor all on his own.
There's no way he lives.
Yeah, he's being chased by Funds.
Needs to beef hugely here if he's going to live. Raptors, so that's, just clinical shots from Funds. He's not the type of player that would miss those. He needs to just hit 350 damage shots there, and that's what he does. But that said, OMNI, they know that Ascent are quite overextended here. They can try and get some picks, but they have actually had a lot of players. But it doesn't really matter because the Uber is not going to be up to cap last for absolutely ages for Ascent. They're going to have to back up to middle. It's actually, OMNI keep pressuring, but they have no heals, and Josh is hitting so many rockets in choke.
Really, really nice though from Raph to get to bomb in and just do a lot of pressure onto Ascent. I don't know if you realise, but the mid had not been capped during that whole thing, so it was a bit of an overextend would be an understatement. That was ridiculously too far for Elicor and the rest of his team.
Potentially, but they did exchange it for the Raptor pick, and they have not gotten their med forced on second. So while they lost the time, it doesn't actually. If they can push before Raptor gets to 100%, which he's not actually building right now. Yeah, they're going to get in from one, and there's a really good. But Fund is so deep, and the rest of his team isn't in. So this is a pretty questionable push from Ascent. They've literally got nothing done. They come with it all on killing Raptor, but Raptor was in the right position. So really well played by Raptor from just expecting that early quick push and getting out of the way of it.
Yeah, and they have transferred it into an 80% ad for themselves. Even though Scruff wasn't out, he was in spawn on the heavy that slowed them down. They were constantly aware of it, and it just meant that the rest of the players were still healthy. They're going in for it, even though on OMNI5. Oh, Chris is
uncontested and last. Oh no. Can Sweet get back in time? It doesn't look like it. Funds is there as well.
Is this just a game of back caps and headshots? So I feel like this is turning into. I think we made a joke earlier saying that the map picks, which are process. Oh, what's the second one?
Snake and Gully, or
Snake and Gully. Yeah, Snake then Gully, and it is a bit of a pug setup on that.
Yeah.
And these are pug plays. These are things that that players should not be getting away with. Is back caps like that.
Sweet just gets absolutely dunked on by Chris there, and this can be really bad looking. Yeah, OMNI have lost both scouts here. Like, they're losing players faster than I can even talk about it. And Raptor, he will get out with 50%, so probably going to have this up for last. He's getting chased by Ascent, but no, he's gone out so early, there's no way he goes down. But yeah, Sweet just losing his life so early to a great rocket from Chris that OMNI just instantly lost that mid, really.
Yeah, Ascent did really well during the mid. I think they're listening into the cast and they heard you mention the whole right play and staying very far back.
Yeah.
So they're just playing really aggressively, but they're in last with.
Chris is so deep in panic room. Raptor doesn't see him. So Uber's really early by Ombrak, but they're going to get so many frags. Raptor's on 99. And they need to save Demos. He has an Uber, but they are 2 down. But yeah, Raptor's just going to sit, heal is heavy, and Ascent is just going to decommit and hold their second, making it difficult for OMNI5 to push out.
Shampoo did a really good off-class then onto NG and set up the NG, and even though it wasn't like the gun wasn't past level 1, it still did a lot of work just at the end to pick up any players or just damage any players that were in too far. And Omni have taken the opportunity to go into second. They are getting spammed really nicely by the rest of Ascent as they are just trying to force Raptor. They stayed in for so long, they didn't lose any players, so they.
Oh no!
No!
That's so unfortunate.
That's. Raptor's going to be so disappointed
if
in
that Ombrak was so overextended there, if Demos had just gone and Uber jumped him, he would have done so much damage, probably killed Ombrak and gotten a really great Uber, but that miracle clutch pipe from Elikol is going to drop Raptor as he turns the corner, and yeah, just what was looking really great for Omni is just going to turn right back into an easy last push for Ascent, what it looks like.
Yeah, and they are in straight away. They have used it. Uber. Swede goes down really quickly. Shampoo behind the rest of the combo. I think he's just waiting it out to see if there's any players he can pick out. And he does try it, but he ends up going down. So many players, only Scruff and Demos. Only Demos left. He ends up going down after the round, and that's the 4th round going to Ascent.
Yeah.
Oof. It's not looking good.
No. Jinx.
Jinx. Oh, do I have to buy you? Is it like a cream soda or something? I don't know how it works anymore.
Depends like where you live, I think.
Yeah, so many different ways of it. But we are coming on to this 6th mid. Demos really far forward, actually trapping up the sewer entrance, but Chris may be able to punish him.
Chris doesn't hit the air shot, but he's going to go down to credit anyway. Demos going to strike by 3 players there, so it's looking really bad for Omni to have any chance in this mid without their demo. And yeah, they're just going to probably have to back out choke. They're trying to commit to the left, but the right side, but I don't really like it. Yeah, Scruff should just leave here with Raptor, but he's going to go down, and Raptor's almost certainly dead.
Yeah, end up with a wipe for Omni. It was all that overextension from Demos would have been great if he picked anyone, because I think he was going for an early pick onto Elikor, thinking Elikor was going to go through sewer, but he ends up getting so much damage taken from Chris's bomb, which was just perfectly timed, and Credu finishing that off. So Ascent really confident on this last push. They look like they're going straight in. They know they got the ad. They spotted out the center gun. They're dealing so much damage to it. Sui has come in at the right time. He hasn't gone down. He stayed alive a little longer on this, but he is down. The rest of OMNI5 are bombing onto the players. Round 2. They do pick them all up, but there's still Ascent players in their last. They're still around that point. Elikor surfs some really nice stickies. Raptor goes down. Only Demos left. Heals for Ascent. Credu and Ombrak are left, and yeah, it's turning into a very confident game from Ascent here, Eames.
Yeah, definitely. They've really worked out these mids. I mean, to be fair, past 2 mids, it's just been Chris making a pretty big play, getting an early pick both times, so really huge from him. I kind of like to see Raf go fast in the rollout and try and contest him a bit more here. They're going to... OMNI5 are going to need something pretty drastic here if they want to actually make a comeback in this map, and even if they don't think they're going to win it, it'll be nice to at least have some momentum going into Snakewater, which is next.
And I think that's exactly what's happened with Raf. He did a nice quick fast bomb in. They were able to pick up Chris, but not before Funds actually takes down Demos. So they are demo-less during this mid. There's too many demo words there, as Elikor does so much damage. Funds ends up going down though, but Credu cleans up Shampoo. There are still so many OMNI5 players on the wrong side of this mid, and Ascent really need to start picking players off. Ombrak goes in. Oh, it's crit.
It's a really nice play from Scruff to get that pick onto Ombrak, and if Raptor, what we should really do right now is just pick up Ombrak's... Oh, never mind. Ombrak didn't drop his medigun, he dropped his crossbow, so Raptor can't pick up the medigun to take that high percent and go to second, but nonetheless, he will have advantage.
The first time I ever saw that was a crit in... from Oz Fortress. I think his name was Happy something. And there is a back cap going on from Credu But he did a crit, he killed the, dropped the med, and he picked up his med and an 80% Uber straight away. It's ridiculous. But so many players, Shampoo, Sweet, going down in the lobby. Yeah, okay, I get it. I'll shut up now.
So, almost crits on this OMNI5 team, and I mean they've lost so many players though. It's just awful, really. I mean, so OMNI5, they really need to rush things now if they actually want any chance, and they're just, because of this, they're just making such aggressive plays and they're just getting caught out, getting punished for all these things. Like, they just went into lobby and just lost too many players too quickly.
Yeah, and with their med and demo down, they are just looking to sack onto Umbra, get some frags, but the 1v1 between Scruff and Funds actually goes out to Scruff, and they manage to force Umbra, which means that the Ubers will be equal during this sort of last hold, so it's going to be depending on the sacks that go in. Scruff overextends, gets punished by Credu, and only Demos and Raptor are left in, and Credu really wants to take this forward. He get joined by the rest of his team, gets picked up by Demos though, and so many players from OMNI5 are not in a perfect position against this full team.
Credu's just going to run straight into Demo. Funds is going to just destroy Demos, and I mean all of Omni just on the low ground. They've escaped into sewers, which is pretty nice. So they can actually, somehow they've actually gotten the picks there. Ascent thinking they won it more than they had, and actually just trying to go really, really deep to finish off the frags, and they've got overextended. And Raptor wins it naturally. Raptor's ulti duo medic, and he would not miss those swords. So this could look like a pretty good round for them if they make this last push happen.
Yeah, I'm still on the Medigun now, so actually no longer on that. Oh, they don't even need it. They don't even need it. They take down Credu and they take the round. I was expecting some sort of Uber to happen there, but no. OMNI5 just wanted to take that in nice and clean, and they able to transfer that into a round for them. So that's really, really good for the memes. Like you said, I don't see them winning.
No, it is maybe just feasible at this point, but more of a 0.001% chance kind of situation. It's only if Omni literally win everything as quickly as humanly possible. It's like a TCM Uber. So yeah, and it's not looking like we're going to win this mid. The game is probably over, but we'll continue to cast anyway.
Yeah, well, even though they looked like they were doing really well, they bombed a lot of players in choke. Ombrak is actually really low, having a 1v1 with Raph, but Raph ends up going down, and it's full wipe for Omni. I didn't see where the point that turned, because I saw so many Ascent players in the red choke getting damage that I thought it was actually going to the side of Omni, but then they just started dropping players. Eemes. Like, what happened?
At this point, Omni, they want to make the huge plays, you know, they want to go really deep, and Ascent know this, they're just sitting back and letting them feed in, and it's working pretty well. They don't really have to do anything, they just hit their shots that they're really good at, and just win out. So,
but
Ascent going to take this Uber to last. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, it doesn't matter. It's gonna round out to 6 rounds for Ascent. 2 minutes left on the map. I don't like calling it early, but I think this is the first map going to Ascent.
Yeah.
Winky face.
Probably. I mean, potentially at this point, Omni players a little bit upset. I don't know. I've seen some of the plays that can possibly explain that. You know, they're just sort of doing some weird things. What they really need to do is just forget about this map. I mean, they had some really good opportunities this map. Like, had last pushes that they could have won. They had fights where, you know, if Raptor hadn't dropped, unluckily, they would have done really well. And they had some pretty good mids. So they just need to take that strength out of this. And, you know, they can actually win the next map if they play well.
Yeah, very true. And there's only 1 minute 30 left on the round. Well, on the game. And Ascent winning this mid. Not looking good for OMNI5. I think now they just need to go for, you know, glory kills and things to make them feel good.
Oh, Demos kills Eligor with a roller, but he's going to have to get out of there because he's, I don't know why they left with the crits. And Chris is going to get a huge bomb onto Raptor, but Raptor actually survives.
Yeah, and
he's going to re-push with Credy. And Credy's going to run into the whole team and kill them all with his Uber. Yep. And Credy is a monster.
They were really nice from Chris there, picking up Demos with a nice little splash off the wall. But that's not what you want at the end of the round. I thought they might go for glory plays, you know, just have a bit of fun, just get their mood up for Snake Quarter. but getting crushed like that by Ascent is going to be really, really uncomfortable. And we got Funds really far forward in one on the sniper. He looked like he wanted to get a pick. That's not Funds. Never mind. I don't know who that is. That's Josh, and he's just having a ball right now, feeling really confident. As should the rest of Ascent.
Yeah, definitely.
They are in the last, and they're going to make it. They're going to end the game before the game actually is supposed to end.
Yeah, really convincing from Ascent.
It started off so close.
Yeah, I did. I do have some numbers for you here though.
Oh, logs.
And one of those, I don't know if they're going to be up on screen yet, but I've just checked them. One of those is 42. And that's how many kills Fun's got, which is...
Oh my god.
Not a bad performance there. Pretty well done for Fun's. One of them is 340 DPM, which is the top DPM, and that's from Chris on Roma. He also went 27 for 17. So Chris, we saw him hitting some crazy rockets on mid, and it just really looked like half the time he was just going completely unchecked in the flank. Like, we'd win a 1v1 and then go in and make a play every time. And
he caught Shampoo. I know Shampoo isn't a Roma, but he caught Shampoo out so much, and he caught Demos out a couple of times, and he basically won most of the mids for Ascent just with how he was playing.
Yeah,
he was just being such a nuisance for OMNI5, whether it's picking off players or just dealing a huge amount of damage to a cluster of enemies, that he was just able to transfer that into really nice mids for his team.
Definitely. I think a better plan for the Omni flank is kind of just to recognise probably Credu's got better DM than Sui, and probably Chris has got better rockets than Raf overall. And what they really should do, given that, is instead of trying to make the plays themselves, just play passive and just take buffs and just make sure that Chris and Credu themselves can't actually make the plays. So just, rather than making plays as your own flank, just deny the other flank, which is, even though they are better, it's going to be hard for them to push aggressively into you if you're just being passive.
Well, Credu really likes, going on plays. Like, he likes going into the flank and taking advantages when he sees it. So if they, like you said, deny that, but try and bait him into those situations where he feels like he can go forward, he's a bit overconfident, sees the enemy team playing passive, so may think that they've, crumbled a bit, and then he overextends and gets picked off. I think that's what they need to do, is they need to get players like Chris or Credu out of position rather than just beat them up with a straight DM.
Yep, definitely.
And we just have a look at the Ubers, and Ombrak actually had 12 Ubers that game, so he did really well. They were able to keep him alive for so long and do so many good Uber exchanges. But one drop apiece, we saw both of those. They were pretty good. They're
both pretty clutch drops. Definitely.
Yeah, like these meds have done really well. The heal order is very similar, but Scruff's taking a lot more heals than Shampoo, and I think that was because Shampoo was playing very loose as a pocket.
Yep, definitely.
Like, Josh really likes to stick around, and if Elicor's not there to tank heals, you tank heals into Josh, and Funds just likes going forwards and going ham, and like we saw, 42 kills on him. He was able to clean up so much damage for his team.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just, Funds is just playing out of his mind. That's all I can really say. If you compare the Pocket Scouts, it's just like similar heal stats for both, but Funds is just, he's probably got a lot more damage to go off because his team's making so many nice plays and it's easy for him. But then again, if you're hitting every shot, you're going to make your own frags, and that's kind of what's happening for Funds, I think.
Yeah. So I'd say definitely with process, it really favors snipers and roamers in my mind. Like, that's a map that really favors that sort of those classes and their sort of play style. Well, what players do you think are going to be the ones to watch on Snake?
I think the demos, to be honest. Snakewater is a map where the demo can control a lot of the space really well, and a lot of the time they're going to get quite high heals, particularly on Snake, and obviously on Snake. That's what we're talking about. But yeah, they can control so many of the doorways so well that if they're, whichever, and it's kind of more difficult for Roma a lot of the time because it's not as easy to get in on the flank as it might be. Although that said, Chris will probably go nuts either way. But yeah, definitely looking at the demo to try and turn up here.
Yeah, and we're just having a quick look right now on the the versus stats, and Funds killed Shampoo 11 times, and Shampoo was never able to get a kill on Funds.
Yikes!
I think that shows because Shampoo was overextending quite a bit.
Yeah,
during
Shampoo,
that game.
I mean, I don't even know if he is a Soldier main. I always thought of him as a demo, and I don't think he's played Prem ever on Soldier. So, like, thrown in really at the deep end here, like a last-minute Merg on Pocket against two of the best scouts in the world. It's just not looking good for him. And from those stats, and generally just the plays that weren't really working out for him in the game, he just kind of looks a bit out of his depth here.
That's the last thing you really want as a Pocket, is to be in that situation where you've got these two monsters that arguably one of the best scout combos we've seen in TF2 in a long while. So it's like when those two get going, Credu and Funds can just clean entire teams, and that must be really awkward for Shampoo. Like, every single mistake he does will get punished, and that's going to be really, like, I don't see, like, especially the mids for the scouts will be nuts. Like, scouts on mid do so much work just because a lot of plays on Snakewater mid are around the Roma bombs, or the double bombs are very, very common on this map. So if Funds and Credu are able to get up, and Funds can deny jumpers left, right, and center, like, he does that stuff in his sleep. So if Shampoo and oh god, I forgot, Raf. I'm thinking
Raf
Chris,
Monster.
and I'm like, Chris, no, Raf. If Shampoo and Raf aren't able, like, they go in for a bomb and they get denied and they get cleaned up in the air before they're able to do anything, it's going to be disastrous for OMNI5.
But that said, I know a lot of Snakewater is about synergy. You know, if one soldier goes in and makes space, and the other one can get in behind and get some really good damage, that can work really well. Like, regardless of how good the scouts are, if the timing is really good, then it can be really hard to deny. And so I know maybe if they here's a good mid strat that I think Omni should try and do. I probably would never work anyway, but this is it. So they need to demos need to spam the scouts. Soldiers need to go in and jump on Elikor's head, and then they will just need to walk over. And if they do that, they will probably lose anyway because their DM is worse. But you never know.
Come on, have a little faith in them. We've been dogging OMNI5 a little bit, but they have done really well to get here. They did really well against the German team, which they played. Did they play with Shampoo during that?
No, they played with, I think it was probably Gotti and Ixie.
So it's going to be very uncomfortable for them with that change. But even within that, I can imagine that they must have a bit of, like, that they weren't defeated at the start of the game. They weren't feeling like they were just going to lose. And they did so well during the start of that. So maybe they'll be able to do some surprise things. Maybe they've studied their opponents well enough, because I think the thing is, Ascent had to change their entire mid strategy. And like, amazingly well done by them. But that's why they started to win, is because they had to change their strategy.
Cool. So we're starting in 90 seconds, I think that's what I've been told.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But yeah, so I think, I mean, what was working, as you said, the mids were working pretty well for Omni at the start, but what they weren't able to do was capitalize with their last pushes. They were just really, I don't know, they were kind of uncoordinated, and Ascent kind of outplayed them there. So two things that they need to do really well if they're going to have any chance of winning this game is their mids and their last pushes. They need to make both the mids just decisive and, you know, crushing, not give Ascent time to use their, like, crazy DM to make plays, and the last pushes, I mean, just clinical. Just go in, get the sentry down, play the point, do the things you need to do, and just execute it perfectly. And if they do both of those things, I think they do have a pretty good chance in this game.
Yeah, I'd like to see it go to third map. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Like it'd be a good feeling for Omni, and they'll be able to give us a great last match, which is Gully, and I am a lover of the Gully. But I'll be quiet now. Just letting you know, we are live on Team Fortress TV for the ETF2L Season 29 lower bracket final with OMNI5 EU basketball team versus Ascent. And before this minute even got started, we're on a pause.
That's a classic. So it's a pause like 90 seconds, 92 seconds into the game or something like that. Which is lovely.
Just to explain why Eemes said that, is just for the fact that the pauses are not at the moment we are seeing right now. They're live in the game, but it does pause the STV, so we have to wait for their pause to be sorted out. We'll see it momentarily. I imagine it's a player DC'd or something like that. Okay.
OMNI5 have paused. I see.
Maybe,
I'm going to see if they can give me a reason.
Maybe it's some sort of, big brain power play. So they're just pausing to confuse and befuddle the Ascent.
I have been told that Sui timed out. So that's unlucky. Hopefully he'll be getting back in soon. But yeah, so
it's not much to talk about. Like, who's quicker? Who's further forwards? Is it Elecor?
Just past the door.
Elecor's just a little bit further forward, just by 10 hammer units, maybe.
Something
I guess.
Sure. Looks like they're both opting for this jump to choke rollout rather than the saw one, which personally I think is slightly slower, but it is a lot easier to do. So. We're being informed by our nerd production person that it's actually hundreds of hammer units and not tens. So, GrumpyKoi, you're not clever enough to cast this game. Please leave. Thanks.
Okay, I'm leaving. Bye.
Okay, so this is the Eemes solo cast, and I'm going to just talk to myself about this pause until this joke gets old and GrumpyKoi comes back. So,
the joke was old the moment I did it.
Oh, okay. That's
that was me closing my my wardrobe door.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad
quite caught that.
Did you hear it? No. Oh.
I think I heard an indistinct noise. I didn't quite get it.
No, it doesn't make the same squeaky noise as my door does. It's a very distinct lack of oil.
I mean, do people really oil their wardrobe doors?
No, I meant my actual door.
Oh, right, okay.
I don't know. It matters if it's like metal construction or not. Are we really talking about doors right now?
I mean, it's a pause. We can talk about whatever we like.
Alright, this is a classic one. I love this one. What did you have for lunch or dinner?
I had some pasta with some mushrooms and some chicken for lunch. I haven't had dinner yet, so. What about you, GrumpyKoi?
I had mac and cheese, homemade mac and cheese.
Nice.
I put way too much cheese in mine, so it's literally like it's just very much just cheese.
Cheese and cheese.
It's cheese and cheese on some pasta, but it was really nice. And I made homemade cookies with self-raising flour like an idiot, so they came out like cakes.
Nice.
But they still tasted good, so I guess it doesn't really matter if they taste good.
Guess then you just get more food, which tastes nice, so it's better. Because it's bigger, right?
Yeah.
All right, I've got something to talk about. So I was watching the Ascent pre-scrim briefly, and Elecor has changed his hats. And personally, I think this is what his team was saying. I'm not.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Is Gazer Beam from like the Gazer Beam outfit from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like all you'd have to do is like, I don't know if production can do this, but if they could draw on like a GB on Elecor's forehead, he's just the demo version of Gazer Beam.
Except he has bagpipes.
So the Scottish demo. Well, the demo man's Scottish, so yeah, it's the demo man version of. I'm not. No,
Frozone.
he doesn't look like Frozone because Frozone doesn't have that. Like, he doesn't have like a visor. So this like.
So this isn't the guy who goes, "Honey, where's my super suit?"
No.
Oh.
That he doesn't have. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have. Actually, he might. Oh, I haven't watched it in so long.
I'm looking it up.
Look it up. If so, he's the bind.
It looks like him.
Oh, it does. It does.
Yeah, because he's got a visor.
Oh, he has got a visor.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. I couldn't remember his name, but yeah, it's just as yellow. I mean, personally.
Oh yeah, no, you're very much correct.
Not a fan of the yellow, you know.
Yeah, it should be blue or white. And then during every mid, Elikor should spam a bind that says, "Where's my super suit?"
I wonder if we could get a TFT voice line that would make Elikor sound like he was in The Incredibles. Don't know if I can think of one though. As if this pause is still going. Oh! Looks like we have an unpause. So as we come to the end of our discussion, we come to the mid, maybe?
I haven't got an unpause on my end.
I saw Elikor scuttle forward, but...
Oh, he is a little bit closer to the door. I think that was just letting Sui rejoin into the whole doohickey thingamajig.
So
team.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Oh, do you want to take it away again, Eemes?
Oh no, I think you should. I had the first mid last time, so.
Alright, I'll take it away. As Elikor is really far forward, having a little bit of an exchange with Demos, and the rest of the teams do come in. Credit up in that high ground. Fun's looking to get into a good position. Raph goes in with the bomb. Instant denial from Fun's and Elikor do clean up Raph in the end. Scruff going down, Shampoo down. So many players down for OMNI5. Only Raptor and Demos up, and they need to just run out of there. Any players from Ascent. Credu does look like he wants to go in for the chase. He has gone into the lower area. I don't think they know.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's going to get behind. Oh no, he gets they get out before Credu's able to do anything nasty with that.
That's actually a little bit fortunate from Raptor there, or Raptor and Demos. If Credu had expected them to come back out of left instead of out of right, which most people do, he would have just come up behind him and been able to force Raptor or kill him. But Credu assumed they would go through the right side and just absolutely missed them, and then couldn't catch them up as he came to last.
Yeah, but OMNI5 are on their last. Both teams do have their Uber, so it's going to look like we're going to look at some sort of exchange going on, maybe? Oh no, Josh. That's actually Josh.
Oh, you're right.
Josh got in, but he got denied very convincingly by Demos. And they were able to get the kill. There is our
pause.
There is our pause.
Yeah.
And we're back on TF2.
Sui did timeout, yeah. So I don't know what you're talking about, Gem.
Okay. But yeah, it's gonna be very much like most Snake Water lasts. It's gonna be one sniper spent. Oh wait. Are both Chris and Josh spies?
Whoa! Oh my god! There's okay, so it's triple off class. So Credu sniper and double spies. This is pretty insane. If Omni actually knew about this, if they checked, I don't really have Scruff again. Scruff's on NG, but if someone on Omni goes back and checks, they'll see some mind-boggling stuff. But Credu's got the pick, so I feel like the spies are just going to both decloak and try and poke Raptor to death, which is going to look truly hilarious. They're literally stacking inside each other as they walk.
Yeah, they're all cuddled up together. I noticed that lower.
The little Irish fucking little creepy spies just walking around. That's so odd.
The funny thing is, if OMNI5 knew this, they would only need to bait out. Oh my god, they're both insane.
But the problem with this is if anyone bumps them, they're both going to get hit at the exact same time. But Chris, he's in the corner. Josh, they got their fucking beady eyes on Raptor, and Raptor's just completely oblivious. And they both decloak. This is insane! No, this is both fail! Oh my god. You can see what their plan was though. It was to Raptor couldn't have turned in both directions. Like they wanted one in front and one behind, but it completely didn't work. That's actually hilarious though.
I don't even know what to say about that. That whole exchange was one of the most surreal things I've ever seen in TF2.
Just TF2 things, I guess.
But Ascent, now that they've got their soldiers up, they do want to take a nice bit of ground. They're taking Credo in really far left. He just wants to get a pick on Raptor, but he immediately gets denied. Sui is actually on the spot.
Oh no, Chris gets in from. Oh, it's such a like textbook play from Ascent. They come in left, they take all the attention. Raptor's staring at them, waiting to trade, and Chris just walks in under completely uncontested and gets the drop. It's such simple plays, but they're so effective. And Omni, they're just not well drilled enough to be able to deal with these things. That really, if they were playing a bit more clinically, they would be able to actually. I mean, someone should just be watching under, regardless of whether Raf is rotating to right. But yeah. Credit does go down before this last push though, so they're gonna Ascent are popping in anyway. They're taking over right side. Elicor's gonna get the sentry. It does go down kind of weak. Omni just gonna group up on left, but Elicor's done so much damage, and they're all of Omni are weak on left. But no one's playing the point on Ascent, and they're actually just gonna have to back out left. That's kind of what happens when you lose your scout immediately before the push. You have no point presence, and yeah, so there's a failed last push from Ascent. Well played by Sui to get that pick on Credit before the push.
Yep, and Ombrak's being pushed all the way back. He was the only one to survive, which is not a bad thing having your med survive, because they'll have very equal Ubers. So even though OMNI5 were able to defend it, they didn't get a very crucial pick that would have probably got them, actually no, almost definitely have got them mid. Because they played everything correct from there.
I'm going to retry to get my HUD back, so
yeah, no worries. But so many players just kind of spamming about. Credu and Sui had a little 1v1, and he actually loses to Scruff, who joins in. Chris goes down as well. So many players from Ascent are just pushed out. Elicor going lower. Rap in really deep onto Ombrak, seeing if he can pick anything onto Ombrak. Ombrak's only at 60 health. He's getting beamed on. You're back.
It's yeah, I'm here. So that's looking like a could have been. I think Scruff thought he saw an Uber advantage, but he does have Ombrak did get it just in time. But Ascent have overextended after this Uber trader kind of, and yeah, Ombrak's gone down to a huge play from Raf. So Omni just need to walk back, but actually Ascent are just collapsing on them. And I mean, okay, we have a pause. Another one. But I can tell you right now that
Raptor's not in a good place.
Yeah, with 4 fracking classes up for Ascent, and 2 only for OMNI5, and Shampoo taking 1v1 with Josh, like, kind of irrelevant. Raptor's gonna die, Scruff will die to Creddy, and it's a nice pick from Raf, but Omni weren't able to disengage from the fight quick enough to keep their own med alive and use their heal advantage, so they just got absolutely crunched.
Yep, and only Sui and Dermos up.
Will Sui die to the sticks? No, Sui's too wise. Oh, okay, no.
Never mind!
I could have sworn he saw the sticks, but he just re-peeks, and Elicor has, I mean, an itchy trigger finger and just gets it perfectly, so
yep, and,
questionable from Sui.
Chris, looking to see if he can get in that lower area or some sort of bomb. Raptor's gone in the rest of his team onto battlements, but Chris really far behind. Shampoo and Raph, so many damage on the Ascent player. Funt's going down, Chris is down as well, finally in the background, and Sui overextending, gonna get beamed down by Josh and Credu. Scruff goes in to see if he can transfer anything, he gets picked off. So many players feeding Eames.
Yeah, that's so strange. I mean, once Omni got locked inside, they didn't need to lose more players, but Scruff goes out to try and help his teammate, and it's just a feed really, and Ascent gonna try and push this last, so they don't have their spawns up, so it's gonna be pretty risky for them. Credu's actually just gonna have to leave. Elicor's spamming pipe, but there's nothing they can really do until their spawns get here, so Raf, yeah, gonna push them out and retake the right side, and we are back in a last hold for OMNI5.
And one thing OMNI5 need to watch is the double spy play.
Yeah, I mean, of all the plays, that's the one that you got to be thinking of all the time, because I guess Ascent are just going to do it.
Yeah. and they've just finished the pause now. And everything should be back to normal. If you need to retry, go after Eemes. Already done mine.
I think it's working. The pause was
okay.
Oh, yikes. That is
a great trap.
Yep.
That was ridiculous. That was so unfortunate for OMNI5, and they are going to get punished for this as very slow but decisive push coming out of Ascent. They're all the players up. They just need to walk over. They finally popped their Uber. Scruff is getting held in, and that's the first round of the second map. Going to the team that were very convincing in the last map, Ascent.
So, I mean, Omni just getting a bit too antsy there, like wanting to go forward far too quickly, but really, I mean, Raptors dropped there. It's unfortunate. You can say it's bad play, but really, someone should have checked that trap. It's such an obvious one. Like, you do it pretty much every time you go into lobby. Or I don't know. It's kind of poor play from Omni. As we come to the second mid, which do you want to take again, Grumpy?
Yeah, I'll take it away as Elikor gets so much aggression on him on the left side, even though he's still so much damage. Credu's the first one to drop actually, and Sui aggressing onto Josh. Josh cleans him up very decisively. But Shampoo is in the back. He hasn't been called. He's gone on a nice bomb onto Ombrak. Ombrak's so low. He does go down in the end. Taking that opportunity to go forward. Super low. Chris and Fun's left. Fun's actually getting a kill. He's on Raptor. He manages to get cleaned up. Yes, Scruff's done so much. Chris, the only one left. Scruff 1v1ing him in what I call burger. I don't know what people usually call it.
Choke. Yeah, that's a really nice mid from Omni. I mean, the bomb from Shampoo getting Ombrak was really clutch. I was about to say Josh on the high ground on top left was doing absolutely fantastically. Just he won a 1v1 with the Sui, and then he just like stayed up there and shot loads of rockets down with them, getting some pretty good damage. But in the end, it didn't really matter the damage in the position he had because his med died, and then he was just a feeder, like a free kill for Scruff and the scouts.
Yeah, Scruff just immediately saw that opportunity and just ran Raptor across the point, and they started picking up players. Funds went in for a really big play there, and they actually managed to bait Shampoo, but Funds goes down to Raph. So Ubers have been exchanged. Demos not able to take down the sentry before the Ubers faded. He needs to back out along with the rest of his team. He's still in.
Chris is so baited. Oh my god, he was in deep with the Uber, and there was literally no other players on Omni committing. I think Ref was weak, but his scouts could have come in there. But literally, Demos took the Uber into a sentry completely on his own, killed the sentry, and then was just like, "Hey, where's my team?" And he's lost. And Ombrak's just gonna walk into second for free with his Uber ad.
Yep, and Funds takes down Scruff, and they're looking to go through choke.
Oh,
nice! Takes down Funds, take down Chris. That should slow down Ascent. Do they really want to continue going in?
They've walked 4 players through choke here, and OMNI5 really smartly are going for a back out with both soldiers, although they have been spotted by Josh, but there's not much he can do. It's only him in the Uber, and I don't like the decision from Ascent to keep pushing there. Like, they need to just slow down and get the respawns. They are getting back capped. And yeah, Squeeze looks like he's going to get this. Another back from him. I said I'm going to come back and block it up. But huge pick from Speed, runs over the explosive class and gets Ombrak. And a huge play from Raph as well to come in and get 2 picks. So that's absolutely huge from Sweet to make the distraction and Omni to just make the plays.
Nice from Scruff there to deny Josh. Freddy looking to want to go behind onto Raptor. Raptor's got a use right now. Domo's going down. Raptor dropping.
What?
Credu is a madman. He's 1v1ing Scruff. Scruff's just wanting to get Ombrak, and he does. Him being the only one left gets picked up by the rest of the respawners for Ascent, but that was so messy.
That was unreal from Credu. Comes in 2 shots to Demo, 2 shots to Med. Raptor just, all he had to do was pop on Demos there, and they win the round really, but just insane play from Credu, just not missing, and Raptor doesn't react in time somehow. And although we do have a backup from Sweet, but he's not going to get it this time. The shotgun from Josh is too good.
Yep, and Ascent really convincingly then take second. They want Credu's just like, I'm going in. He's already in. Chris looks like he wants to go in as well. Demos and Scruff are the only ones left in. Raptor just healing them from Saw. And this should be a nice, easy, clean mid for Ascent. No one's been left behind to do anything from OMNI5. And we're going to get some sort of stalemate on second from the looks of it.
Yes. So it's a small advantage from OMNI5, but not really. I don't think they can push it. Oh no, Raptor thinks they kind of want to push on it, but Ombrak's going to get this, so it's pretty risky for them to go in. They have decided to go through Saw. Ombrak's on 95, so they're just walking in, and it's a nice force from Chris, and it's going to be such a bad Uber from Omni. And of course, he's going to walk across. They're going deep. They got so many frags. Raptor's going to escape from Saw, but yeah, it's looking really nice. Raptor's going to go down and choke to Ombrak, and Scruff also dying, so Demos and Raptor, whole team dead. Just going to have to go to the last.
And Elokor just doing what Elokor does best, which is going really far forward. Demos tried to get him with some sort of trap on bridge, but weren't able to do anything. And Ascent looking really confident for this last push. Can double spy, or they can, you know, sack in some players, see what they can do. Yeah. I wonder if the double spy is now going to be like the new way to do spy sacks.
I mean, I doubt. I mean, it didn't work, did it? Like,
no, but the concept is so good.
Yeah, I guess theory crafting. Where can the medic go? But I guess he can just go away from both of you, doing what Raptor did and just jumping, you know,
off.
Yeah. And then they just got sentried, and it was really looked stupid. So they're just kissing each other, basically, backstabbing the air.
Like something out of a child's cartoon series.
Yeah.
Shampoo's super low though, and Funds go straight in. They really want to get Credu into a nice position, and
mad. But there's only 2 fragging classes alive for OMNI5, and Ascent can just walk in and like get such a nice force hit. Elico's in on the right, Sniper's in on the left. Raptor needs to use. He's gonna get forced. But they can't clean up all these players now with Zuba. They're gonna get 3 picks. Ombrak's just spoiling, so they can take this as second if they're feeling risky. But they do need to. Credu's gonna be sniping. What? Credu's in drop down. He's not even in drop down. He's hiding a little, but Sweet checks it. Sweet checks it. That's well played by Sweet. Honestly, if Credu would just sat back as sniper in second and just gotten the nice angles, he could have gotten a nice kill onto Raptor or any kind of kills that would have delayed that push. But instead he goes to the hero play and it doesn't work at all. So not really a fan of that decision from him.
Yeah, they tried to get Credu in. They were seeing if they could just force him forwards and get a pick onto Raptor, and Raph read that perfectly and got the backstab onto Ombrak. Yeah. But because they got that exchange with the Uber, getting that force has really, really done a lot for Ascent, because they're able to keep mid and not lose that. So they're looking to probably, as soon as they get this Uber, even though it is a little add to Raptor, I wouldn't consider that an add in my opinion.
No, not after what happened last time.
No, they really need to be careful with their exchanges. But it's kind of a classic stalemate, but Credu, still on that sniper, really wants to make something work. He's walking into some traps from Demos, just gets spotted at the last second by Funds. That would have been really, really disappointing for Credu as he takes a new angle on Saw. Just wants to see if he can pick someone off. He's got Demos pinned on the left side of Saw.
Raph goes down. Oh, this is... Oh, God, this is pretty poor... I mean, they get 2 picks for the Uber, but... Actually, no, Scruff's going to kill... Sweet kills Chris on the flank. I mean, so Ombrak now still is his Uber, but there's only... Okay, never mind. Ombrak doesn't... Ombrak used...
Yeah, Ombrak used really, really early.
So, I think what happened there was both teams used their Ubers into the enemy flank, basically. Or must have happened. And now it's a 1v1 with Scruff versus Funds, and Funds just wins it out. He's crazy rocket from Raph, but he's not going to hit the second one, and Funds get arrowed, so he's going to kill the med. Going to kill Raph. Maybe. Oh, nice rockets from Raph. But Funds winning a crucial 1v1 there, and that's just really crazy play by him.
Really well done by Raptor though, to bait out the shots from Funds for so long. Yeah, like he kept himself alive really well. He could have easily just be 2-shot, but he juked so many shots, and even though it's not perfect, it was a good effort from him. He probably should have killed Bind, because now Ascent have got their med with 100% Uber on last, and they are pushing across left into right. They pick up Sweet, the sentry gun goes down. They've got so many people above the point. Raph comes in with the rest of his team as they recircle around, but Ascent is Funds is going on to Raptor, but it does not matter. He gets picked up. Raph going in. So many players on Ascent are super low, and they need to decide whether or not they want to stay anymore. Chris goes down to a nice pipe from Demos. Scruff in on Ombrak. Credu going down as well. Only Ombrak on his own, 1v1ing Scruff. Shampoo comes in for the final shot onto Ombrak, and OMNI5 protect their last.
Yeah, so that was lovely kiting from OMNI5 there. Ascent, they looked like taking so much position on the right side, they walked all the way over and went into the spawn, but literally every player in Omni just walked all the way through the spawn, came back onto out of their right side of spawn, and what they should have done, if Eloquent would just stick the spawn and the rest of the soldiers took the Uber into them, there would have been nowhere for them to go. But as it was, they just rotated out and kited completely, really easily. So it's good last defense from Omni, and they're going to be able to take this second with this Uber advantage if they make this push correctly.
Yeah, but they do actually manage to pick up Eloquent, which means that they can go in with Uber, which they've tried to do from Saw. They've chased Credu into a really awkward position. He ends up going down to a pipe from Demos. Josh down as well, so Omni are looking very poised to go into last, but they have not capped.
Chris has killed Sui on the back line, so that's great from him, just outplaying that flank member. And he's going to get cleaned up here probably. Yeah, he's trying to juke for as long as he can to buy time. So actually, if OMNI5 are quick, they could try and make the... No, okay, never mind. The respawns are up from Ascent. But we'll see if Ascent actually decide to take this Uber advantage in. They've got about 25 here. It's pretty risky for them to do that, but they are an aggressive team, and they think, you know, they probably know in their hearts that they should be winning this, so maybe they'll just take the aggressive trade in. But it looks like, no, Ombrak's just going to be sitting on last. He's giving Omni the respect.
Yeah, I think Omni showed their colours there a bit with that last hold they did, where they baited out Ascent, so Ascent are probably very aware that they can't just rely solely on their DM against this team, and they do need to really need to think. But this is not great positioning from OMNI5, because even though they've got players all in cheese, like Josh is super low, so Sui should be able to pick him up, which he does. Never mind, that was actually really good, and Ascent messed up. I will take that, Eemes.
Well, Ascent, they're trying to be, you know, they're trying to not just give up this lobby for free and actually make Omni have to work for it to get in there, and it's actually working pretty well. They're getting these little picks. So Omni just having to wait outside, and while you're outside, you can't really go for sacks or anything. There's not really much you can do unless the hold from Ascent is bad in the lobby. So it's actually pretty nice positioning from. But Creddy's going to go for a sack. Okay, went for the hero shot, but Shampoo and Sui looking at him, so he can't do anything. And finally, Ascent are actually going to give up their lobby. So more of a default last hold now.
And Raph is actually playing super sneaky boy.
Yep.
I don't know where he is right now, but
Chris has got the force on Raptor under. So Omni Ascent gonna have a large advantage to go into second here, but with Raph on Spy, it's gonna be pretty interesting, because if they don't leave someone on last, which Chris, I don't know, you might just think we've got all the entrance covered, I won't stay, but he probably is going to. We'll see. But if he doesn't, then Raph will get it. He's left. And Raph is just...
He loses him.
And Chris has even gone down, so this is literally free for Raph. It's just... No, but Creddy's there! Creddy's in the right position, and he gets on the point just in time. So, I don't know why Creddy was
Sui's
so far
going
back,
in though on the two low players for Ascent, and he is 2v1ing, and he's holding up really well, got them low, but Josh ends up shotgunning him down. Sorry to cut you across there, Eemes.
Oh, that's fine. I guess...
Demos super far in forwards. I'm sorry, I've done it again. I'm so bad.
So Raptor must have gone down in that Uber out from Umbrak. I'm not quite sure why that happened, but it was pretty overextended. Which means that Umbrak with a decent Uber advantage to go into second here. And we'll see if they actually decide to push on it this time. But yeah, probably are. Elicor's walking through Saw, but Demos does have a trap on the right. I wonder if they're going to notice it. But yeah, Ascent just posturing up in Saw, just waiting to go in. I mean, they should have been building for longer and then just walked through, but whatever. They look like they're going to go now. Elicor's in. They see this. They're just going to Uber through. And Ombrak gets juggled into a window by the sticks. So no move on Elicor. But it doesn't matter. Elicor doesn't need move, but neither does Chris. And they just destroy them. That's crazy.
Like,
either as well.
Either of those players bombing you is terrifying. When it's both of them, it's just really unfortunate for OMNI5. But they do force out the Uber. Scruff just wants to try and push as many players as possible back.
Yep. He might be overextending here, but no, the spawn's coming just in time. If they had been any later, Sun could have taken all the position for free, but in their fear of Scruff, they've left all the position. But that said, Creddy just Creddy and Fun's walking in on left and they get 2 picks.
And they're on
just,
Raptor.
The DM from Omni's so good.
Yeah, they want to take Raptor down, which they do. just really good from Funds and Credit there. They're absolute madmen. And Chris, Goober stomping on top of the Soldier of Shampoo. He's staying in last for way too long, not able to transfer anything. And OMNI5 hold that by the skin of their teeth, Eemes.
But they have held that, but Ombrak has stayed alive. He baited his team a little bit, but it's fine because he has this huge advantage. And if Omni can test second, they're going to lose because the spawners are really here for Ascent, and now they've got a huge advantage. So it's looking really good for Ascent to take this round if they make this last push.
Yeah, and they're looking to go lower. Josh taking a lot of spam from Raph. They take Funds in first. Funds goes in. There is a sentry up, but it's not able to do so much because it's on the left-hand side. Finally gets all the players forced out. Sweet on that Pyro, seeing if he can do anything. He goes on to Elikor. Elikor's super low, and ears are falling for OMNI5. Ascent doing so well this last push. They're all on to Raptor and Demos. They're forcing them out. They just need to clean up Demos, and then they can take the round for themselves, Eames.
Ascent just took so much space with the Uber, and Omni, they split players. Some were trying to cut into lobby, I think. Some were in their shutter, and they, instead of being a blob that's really hard to go into, they just kicked apart by the blob of Ascent. Yeah, really nice last pitch from Ascent there.
Yeah, and for those just joining us, my name's GrumpyKoi, and I'm joined by Eames, and we're doing the lower bracket final for season 29 of ETF2L. One map went to the side of Ascent, and this is the second map with Ascent in the 2 lead. As this mid goes on, Raph looks push across. Elikor gets picked up by Scruff for being too aggressive, but Chris is in a good position to go on to Raptor, and he tries to get something done, but so many players from Ascent are down. Only Funds and Ombrak left, and they're in their last. What was that from Ascent?
That was Elikor getting maybe a bit cocky. He got some really good damage on Demos at the start, but Demos traded some damage, and it just does all he needed to do, really. Took an arrow, called that Elikor was weak, and his scout got onto him, and then Demos could just walk over completely uncontested and win the mid-fight for them. So that's, well played by Demos, capitalizing on Elikor's overly aggressive play.
Yeah, and OMNI5 are actually already in the lobby looking to see if they can do anything. Funds, though, wins a 1v1 against Sui. Raptor gets forced. Funds is just going to stay behind, because if he can stay on that second, he can pick any players that are overextended, but they don't go the way he wanted. And OMNI5 are able to get back, but not without many players just too far in, actually. Scruff getting picked up by Josh.
Yeah.
Shampoo and Raptor need to leave Eames. They're just not doing great.
Omni are getting completely picked apart here. They're just losing players on the flank and then getting collapsed on, and it's just looking really grim for them here. They're not able to hold any. They can't hold lobby without losing players. Although that said, Ref is behind, but they can't. I don't think they can outcap this unless they get a block in. But Omni, they're going to send players in. He's going to go for the block. He doesn't get it though. If the rest of Omni had blocked, that could have been a round, but it was a really risky play for them to make, so they decided against it.
And they are so split up. Only with Raptor and Demos on second. Scruff and Raft are trying to come back as Sui is on top of the point. He's on Ombrak though. He's got some really nice shots, but he's not able to finish Ombrak off. And Sui and Raft both down. Scruff maybe going for a hero play himself, but Josh knows he's there. And whilst they're dealing with him, Chris is starting up the cap on the second. Ombrak joining him. So Scruff, too little too late, bless him.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a really ridiculous amount of times this game where it's literally just been Demos and Raptor on their own running out when the whole of Omni has died, and just fed, and crazy surf from Elikor. By the way, it was that surf, maybe it was a jump, I don't know. But the Uber's coming in from Ascent, but they get 2 picks even though their Uber was way earlier, and Ascent all on right side taking a lot of damage, but they are going to take the space. That said, Demos has got the frag, Josh has gone down to Scruff, and so that's pretty nice counter. Although, no!
Oh my god!
Ready.
Credu is a madman. Oh, nice shot from Rafto, picking up Elikor, who overextended. Credu's still in, gets picked up by Demos. That was so good from Credu. He surfed so much to get to Raptor then.
Yeah. It's just as he said before, give him an inch and he'll take a mile. Even that situation looks so grim for Ascent. They were in the same position, they took so much damage, but they make it work because Credu just makes a huge play. But Demos has gotten 2 picks here into the lobby, overextended players, and he's going to walk in, and there's really not much Ascent can do. They've got a small Uber advantage, but that's it. They're just going to have to leave. But can Elikor get a pick with this trap? No, okay. Almost certainly not. Oh, Raptor is on crits. So because it's only 2 minutes left, and Omni really You want to try and make a play before they just get timed out of this game. But
it is, if they can, if it's so tight, they need to take.
yeah,
Surprise them, get the round, and hope that that's stunned another clean mid like they did before and be able to finish it. But Scruffed down, Fun's traded.
and he does! Huge from Demos! That was the only play that could have worked, and he does it. And Alekos can come and go for Raptor, but Raptor's surfing. Chris doesn't go for him, but they're in the corner, but he like collapsed on anyway. Such great aggression from Ascent. Even though Ombrak drops, Demos makes a huge play, but it doesn't matter. They're just so aggressive. Balls to the wall, they all go in and they get the frags.
Yeah, as soon as they knew that their med was dead, Chris and Josh just instantly jumped across the point. Yeah. And it was so impossible for Omni to deal with that and keep Raptor alive. And they managed to transfer it into a really nice sort of stalemate situation for Ascent. Only 1 minute 30 left on the clock. They don't need to worry. They can just relax, chill out, and catch any OMNI5 players that overextend.
Yeah, and it's really not looking likely for Omni to take this round, but they're going to walk it in anyway. Raptors still on crits, I think. And yeah, they actually get the picks here, so Josh is going to go down as well. Yes. So a nice cap up from Omni. They're going to be able to walk this to mid, probably. Fun's actually on Spy, calling for heals.
Yeah, he's calling for heals. He tries to go for some sort of power play, but ends up getting picked up by Shampoo. Bit messy from Ascent, but there is only 50 seconds left, so it is a bit of garbage time as Chris is really far behind in Kitchen. 1v1 with Scruff. Credu.
Alekor crits also.
Look at what class Credu is. He's engineer on second. And Fun's, I don't know who saw that, but Fun's just surfed a sticky trap on Spawn all the way into Saw Door as side. What is going on in the game? As OMNI5 are aggressing in Saw, they're seeing what they can do, but Sui ends up going down to Fun's. Fun's just having fun at this point. Scruff getting the transfer kill, but it doesn't matter because Josh is there and he can hold chokes if he needs to on his own. That boy is mental, especially with the shotgun. Like, a lot of players don't know how to play against shotgun anymore, and as I say that is the final curtain for poor old OMNI5. They lose it out, and Ascent will be joining us in the final against 7 Eemes.
They will indeed.
Nuts. What was that map? What was that map?
We had all sorts of plays, didn't we? We had drops, we had double plays, we had some backups that worked, some that didn't. That was, yeah, I mean, it was a lot closer than Process. Like, a lot of the time, other than maybe a few scrappy DM fights, OMNI5 looked almost equal to Ascent, but they couldn't really get it to work completely in the end. So, yeah, Ascent have won.
Yep, and congratulations to Ascent, commiserations to OMNI5. We can probably have a look at logs in a second, and they won't tell us too much. I imagine that Alekor would have had a very strong game, and Credu must have something that says that guy went nuts, because there were points when him and Funds were just beaming down players left, right, and center.
Yep.
It's so unfortunate.
So, I do see actually potentially the difference between this map and the previous one. Scruff, 34 for 16, and second top DPM. So Scruff was actually going huge, as opposed to Process, where he seemed to be getting shut down. So that was potentially why the game was so much closer. Huge from him. I mean, the demos both having kind of quiet games, but like on the DPM standpoint, but it was very, very slow, and some of it at least. I mean, it was back and forth too, but there was some stalemate, so that's kind of explains why. And but I definitely see Josh on the top damage, which is pretty big from a pocket shotgun. So well played by him.
Yeah, there were a couple of times when a lot of players I think so many players are used to having, the gunboat's pocket, that they were aggressing onto Josh thinking, oh, he's used up all his rocket. He'd whip out the shotgun and pick off players.
Yep.
It's kind of nuts.
I mean, it's so unexpected, people are so not used to it that like a lot of the time just the surprise factor just works out. And obviously Josh, he's been playing pocket for a very long time. He knows exactly how to use it. He's got great aim. And when you're trying to run at a pocket, you think it's just completely has to direct you, and then he just whips out a shotgun. It's pretty frightening.
But I do think Scruff did really well for his team, especially a couple of the aggressions he did where he took Raptor just forward when he saw the opportunity to do so. And I think OMNI5 didn't flop. They gave us a really good game.
Yeah, definitely.
My favorite play of the game will still be that double spy play, even though it didn't work. It sounded so great in concept.
Oh, it was hilarious just watching it. Looked so stupid.
But one thing we can go to now we've had a brief look through on the logs, we could just have a quick look at the med stats, because we mentioned that there was some drops. 3 drops on Raptor, 2 drops on Ombrak.
You know, instead of looking at the med log, we could just talk to the meds.
Oh,
they are in the channel.
I think we should drag them in. And I think we've got Demos as well. So in alphabetical order, we are joined with Demos, Ombrak, and Raptor. How you doing, boys?
Yo.
Hello.
Demos?
Shouldn't have like the season ended like a month ago. Why are we still playing?
that's playoffs, man.
LAN. Like literally the next season is starting like less than a month, I think.
More TF2, can't complain.
True.
You can always find ways to complain.
Yeah, that is very true, Ombrak. Going straight to you, Ombrak, how do you feel after this? How do you feel everything went for your team?
Well, it's done. I mean, I don't know, we haven't played properly this week, beside the cup. So I didn't really know what to expect. I don't know. It went alright, I guess. Kind of how I expected. Like, on first map when it was okay, and as soon as the first map began, I was trying to tone down the guys a bit because they were... I think after 2 minutes, Josh asked if he could play NG. So, I had to handle that, but that was okay. Like, the second map, I think, was entertaining from a spectator point of view.
Yes, whose decision was the double spy play?
Josh. I was so confused.
That was... I think the worst part is it didn't work out.
Like the reason why it didn't work out was we had 2 spy and a sniper, and during all that play, Chris and Josh were just laughing, so we couldn't call anything or hear anything or
like,
understand
how is that
anything.
even supposed
I don't know.
to
They were
work?
just
I've seen them both just decloak like right in front
Josh
of
just said, Chris,
drop
follow me, and then they started laughing all the way, and I couldn't catch anything.
That's probably because the entire time they were huddled up together and they were moving together.
Yeah, they literally crouch walk together, invisible, both across last.
I think that's why.
Looked absolutely ridiculous. Oh my god.
But from there, Raptor, Demos, commiserations for your loss. What do you guys felt like you could have done better during the games to maybe have transferred the map?
We're on last when we push.
Whoa.
Hello?
Whoa.
Is that a bit of salt there I detect, Demos?
I'm kidding, man. It was pretty funny though.
Was that the Uber where you literally went in completely on your own and everyone was weak and died and you were just on last on your own?
No, it was the time where Credo hit
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
that
was my
me
fault.
and double mid shot Raptor.
Yeah, I should have popped there. He was hiding in a corner, and then I got cocky and didn't pop.
Yeah, it was like...
Cocky against Credu though?
Yeah, it can happen. I don't know. I think process was kind of disappointing. I was hoping for a better score, not actually getting win difference 5. But Snakewater was alright, and on Snakewater I actually felt like we could have won if we would have played better. But
I think you discredit yourself a bit on the process, because at the start of that you did really well. You won the first mid. You were very convincing for a large portion of it, and then it seemed like, I don't know if that was your decision, Ombrak, but the mids changed for Ascent and they started playing far more aggressive, not playing behind crate, and that's when things started to fall apart for you guys, from what I can see. But you started off really well. We knew that they're gonna be aggressive on middle, but when they went even more aggressive,
we somehow didn't know how to counter it anymore. But yeah, I think our biggest problem on process was the few opportunities we had with last pushes we didn't convert, and it felt like we almost never held our own last, even though we had a lot of good chances.
I think what I picked up on the cast, the sentry really well. They had a sentry on the right and a heavy on the left, and Demos shot the sentry, and then he had like not very much ammo for the heavy, and the rest of your team didn't really go for the heavy, and so he just survived
that
and
last
destroyed the
one.
run.
Well, besides, we didn't have soldiers just going behind them top.
Well, I guess they
Like,
couldn't
don't
because
know
of the
what
heavy.
happened there. It's not about the heavy, but we killed the sentry right. The soldiers can just go 5 and just do a pogo, slide, and you're top.
Yeah, and then into panic room. Yeah, no, I see what you mean, Demos.
No, my
Thank you,
idea
thank
for the problem was that, I don't know, we didn't really go over the push. I just expected the team to know it. My idea was that you Uber through left side, get those picks left side, regroup left side, and then kill the sentry from the right side. But instead it went too chaotic, and Demos like pushed instantly over the point, which is not saying it's his fault, but it was just miscommunication, as I expected something which we never talked about.
And alongside that, Umbrak,
Yes.
following this game and on to the grand finals, is there anything you're going to take from this game, these games, or have you got your own sort of game plan going against Seven?
Will we see double spy in the finals?
No, I doubt it. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Like, I think, like, no disrespect to OMNI5, but playing against them and against Seven is a whole different story, and I think it will be a lot more focused when it will come to Seven. So I'm expecting. I don't like. We kind of fooled around on this game. Like first minute on process, one of the reasons we lost because Credu changed his nickname during the rollout, and instead of naming himself Credu, he named himself Crowd or something, and we just laughed and we couldn't react when I think that was Demos Shampoo when he jumped a locker. So I don't know. We just need to get our shit together a bit, like getting more concentrated when it comes to Seven. But I know that when we play them, we kind of know what's on the line, what's at stake. So I don't like this game. We don't. I think gonna take a lot out of them. Just like it happened, we played them. That was fun, but now the dessert is happening soon.
Yeah.
You go.
Ooh.
You go.
Go ahead.
Okay. So following up on the question about the final, how do you feel coming into it as the lowest seed, even though you finished first in the season?
I think I talked about this last time I got an interview, but the rules, in my opinion, are retarded. The fact that Seven has a map advantage is completely unfair. I think like getting
Lovely.
like if I take the LAN as an example, like Copenhagen LAN, the fact that you can somehow lead the map pick is a big enough of an advantage not to even more add on top of it a map. So I don't know, like people will say that I'm just getting salty because I didn't win the upper bracket finals, but I like knowing myself, I would probably say the same. I think this is an unfair advantage. So I'm expecting it's too late for it to be changed this season, but I'm expecting like if enough people talk to the admins with me about this issue, maybe you can change it for next season, because I feel like getting a map is just look at last season, the finals.
Is there any maps? Obviously, speaking about this this map advantage pick, is there any maps that you're particularly scared about playing during this final, or do you feel pretty confident on all of them?
Are you actually expecting me to unveil my game? We can beat them on any map. That's all. Like we can't afford to show any weakness if we want to beat them, especially if we have 3 maps and them only 2. So I think we can beat them on any map if we play our game correctly and they have like maybe a day off or something. I'm going into that game saying like whatever the map, we're gonna play it to take it.
Fair enough. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to Demos. What kind of things? So you've had a pretty good season here. Like, firstly, was this more than you expected, or did you expect to get to playoffs with your first season in Prem for most of you? And with your pretty good first season under your belt, what do you think is going to happen next season? What's your plans?
Most likely, we're gonna have like 4 people leaving, probably. So I just have to rebuild the team, and I think we have to go through the preseason playoffs again.
Oh, right.
Through that. Yep. It was a good season. I'm not complaining. It was lucky for us, like immensely, because we didn't really deserve playoffs, but then we got into it, and then we got the win after all.
Well, I mean, you got a full lineup for a whole season, so that's more than some team can talk about.
Yep.
Oh,
You had enough players to play this game. Well done.
That was good.
oof.
What was it like playing with Shampoo? I know that you've played with him before, but
I always like playing with Shampoo. Unfortunately, he didn't contribute much into calling. He's a very vocal player, but he does more calls when he's playing on demo. Since he's a demo main, he has more control over the game. But as a solo, he was really struggling, especially on process. Even though he made a lot of space on mids and everything, but it was tough overall.
fair enough. Grumpy, any more questions?
No, I won't try and report Ombrak for any elite strats. But no, I think I'm all good. Are you all good, Eames?
I guess I'll ask the same question to Ombrak quickly. What are you doing next season?
Some people are gonna leave. So we'll see how many of us can stick together. It's kind of we haven't talked about it yet. I'm just waiting for the season to be done, so we don't have to think about other stuff other than the finals. So we'll focus on that first, and then we'll see. When we made that team, the goal was to compete decently against 7, which we've been doing so far. So I think the outcome of the finals will have some impact on our decision at the end, on what we do as a team, and maybe we'll go out to I-63 with this lineup. I hope as many of us can stay and make a team, but apart from that, it's really hard for me to tell you. No, it's not about keeping the secret, because I actually have no idea what's going to happen.
Nice, makes sense. So I guess we're done.
Yeah,
We're gonna go to
I guess, yeah, I think the best thing to go is shout outs. We'll go through alphabetical again. So, Demos, anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to the OMNI5 organization. Shout out to my team. Shout out to Ace, shout out to Gotti, shout out to Shampoo for playing. And shout out to you guys for casting this amazing game. Thank you.
It was our pleasure. Ombrak, got anyone you wanna?
Like Demo, shout out to you guys for casting. Shout out to Gemm for production as well. Shout out to OMNI5. That was actually a fun game. So pretty good. Shout out to my team, of course. I realized at plan we haven't shout out Smire for murking for us as Enchilada, so I'm gonna do it now. So shout out to Smire, probably the best demo at LAN, even though he played only 4 games or something. Yeah, shout out to people who watch, shout out to people who make TF2 happen, and shout out to Babs.
Nice. And Raptor?
Obviously, shout out to OMNI5 GG for sponsoring our team. Shout out to Arctic Foxes. Shout out to Aura Electro. Shout out to all the other TFTV casts that were going on. And shout out to Jesse.
Nice. Eames, have you got anyone you wanna give a shout out to?
Or Raptors already shouted out or Electro, so yeah, shout out to them as well. I guess shout out to the production. Well done, Gem. I'm sure it was fantastic. Shout out to the players because it's a good game to cast. Shout out to Turbo for misspelling my name just to annoy me in the the match page.
Oh, did he do like little E, big E or something?
Yeah.
Oof.
First he did it lowercase, and then I was like, why is it lowercase? And then he was like, haha, got you there. I changed it, made it even worse. Lol. Okay, it's back. Oh, never mind. I think Gem changed it for me. But yeah, thank you, Gem.
Okay. And I'd like to shout out everyone who's watched the games, both of the teams. That was absolutely hilarious. Basically, anyone who is currently involved in producing TF2, so all of the organizations. And yeah, shout out to the bus crew as well, or what remains of it, because I love those boys. And yeah, I've got nothing else really to say on that. So I will talk us out. So my name's been GrumpyKoi. I've been joined by Gemm on production. I've got Eemes as my co-caster. That was OMNI5 versus Ascent.EU. And yeah, congratulations on Ascent, commiserations on OMNI5, and we'll see Ascent in the final against 7. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Peace.